You haven't told him yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
You don't think he deserves to know?
He's a kid. He won't understand.
At some point, he's going to start asking questions. What are you going to say to him then? That his mother lied to his face his whole life?
I am handling this the way I think is best, okay?
Fine. Let's get it over with then.
And I'm the director of Branches.
I'm Ash Tinoco, and I play Laura in Branches.
So I kind of want to start with what was it like working on Branches?
You want to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Branches has to be one of the most beautiful experiences I've had on a set. There was just so much warmth and creativity and love there, and I felt so safe to really just be myself and play the role.
Mm.
And I think Nikki helped a lot in creating that environment.
Yeah, because like it was like so fun that we all got to be there at a cabin for like a whole weekend, and it was like whoever was not staying at the cabin could stay at the hotel, and like it was just this like I don't know, it felt nice because a lot of us were also graduating, so it was like let's spend this weekend in like 2 hours away from everything, and like it was cold and it was nice, and we were just there making a movie, so it was really sweet. Yeah.
No, honestly, I really like the cabin that you guys used too. I felt like it, in a weird way, it added like a lot to it, you know, because
Yeah.
it was like a nice cabin, and then it was like you guys had that scene outside with like the guy laying down there, and then you
Yeah.
switched to like you laying down there, which I also thought was like a really cool shot.
Yeah, that took so long. That shot took like 4 hours.
Oh,
It
really?
came out really nice. I think
Yeah.
it was worth it.
Yeah, no, me too. Because what we had to do was whoever was laying down, we switched it, right? So we had to cross each person twice
Yeah.
with like the different person laying down. So it was twice behind you, and then twice behind the other actor, and then twice behind the little kid, and then twice at the end. So it took like 4 hours
Yeah.
at the end. But about the location, I agree. Like the story could have been like anywhere. Could have been like an apartment, like downtown. But I felt like I wanted them to be like isolated. Like this was like completely separated from like urban life. So I guess like detaching it was also giving it a sense of like claustrophobia. Like
Yeah.
also the aspect ratio is like it needs to happen like outside of the real world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what it felt like too. It felt like it was like in this area that is like not where everyone else is around. It's just like this random area, and like
Yeah.
this is what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great. So, what's the creative thought process behind the story of Branches?
So originally it was gonna be a folk horror. Actually, it was gonna be so different.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be mostly about Laura and Felipe, and like how the abuse turned her into this psychotic person, and then you were gonna kill Noah. It was gonna
That's the first time I'm hearing
I know. It was, and you were gonna have like a psychotic breakdown, but then I showed it to a friend of mine who I really trust, Brian. And she was like, you know, this would be so much better if instead it was the conversation between like Laura and the mother-in-law. And Laura, instead of killing Noah, she would kill the husband because of the abuse. So then obviously I was like, okay, I'm not going to do a folk horror anymore.
Yeah.
And I steered more towards like drama. And also at the time I was watching like a lot of like old movies, so that like seeped into the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was going to be crazy.
I still think it was pretty crazy though. Too. Like the reveal honestly caught me off guard. When I saw it, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Like,
Hell yeah.
it was a good ass reveal.
Thank you.
Oh. Right.
The password is like 2101.
2101.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to ask you, what made you want to pursue filmmaking?
So it's really corny. Sadly, I have to be corny. But I have always watched movies. Like
Yeah.
my grandpa loved movies, my dad loved movies. They showed me like movies, and they were always a part of my life. But I didn't like consciously think about it like as a job until like I was in 7th grade, and I was like rewatching all of Harry Potter, and like when Sirius dies, I kept rewatching that death scene for some reason. I was like smiling. I'm like, I'm a fucking psychopath. Like,
Yeah.
but then I realized that like even if the moment was really sad, I was still happy, and that movies could make me happy.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do that for someone else, and the only way I knew how to do that was through movies.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to be a filmmaker. Yeah.
That's not corny. That's a sweet answer,
It's
honestly.
so corny, bro. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're getting a phone call.
That's okay.
All
It's
right.
my mom.
So, as a director, was there any roadblocks working on Branches?
Yes, especially in pre-production,
Mm.
because like originally it was a different actor for Alma, and I didn't feel comfortable working with that person, and so I had to switch to the person that is now Alma. But that took a little while, and then Merit, who's the actual actor in the film, she couldn't be in Orlando for when I needed to film back in November because she had like a whole family emergency. And so I had to push to this year. But the professors and the faculty did not want to let me shoot.
Yeah.
And so it was like a literally like 3 weeks of fighting with the faculty, like, please let me shoot in January.
Yeah.
And at the end I could, but I was put on like probation because of that.
Why
Yeah.
didn't they let you shoot?
Because like it is part of the class requirement that we have to shoot in the fall semester.
Oh.
And because I didn't shoot in the fall semester, it was like I was failing the class.
Mm.
But it all worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all cool.
That's dedication.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And so how did you come up with the idea for Branches?
So like I said, I was doing the folk horror, and then I switched it up, and I knew I wanted to talk about abuse.
Mm.
And then I knew I wanted to talk about generational trauma, and it all kind of mixed in. And I wanted to do something in Spanish, or kind of in Spanish, because I hadn't, and I'm from Panama. And like, I guess at the time I was writing it, I also lost someone.
Mm.
And so consciously I wasn't writing about grief, but eventually I realized I was. And so that kind of all like mixed, I don't know,
Yeah.
into the script. It was silly. Yeah.
So I guess you kind of already answered this though, but do you have more any more inspiration when creating films, or is there like someone you look up to that's like a big inspiration for you?
So I love Christopher Nolan,
Yeah.
but for every project I change it up a little bit. I like doing so I do several things. One of them, I love Sims. Sorry, I ruined the mic. I love Sims. So whenever I'm making a movie, I like go in and I make my characters and I dress them up
Yeah.
and I build a set on Sims and I show it to everyone who's like doing wardrobe or like production design. Like, this is what I'm going for. Because like, how else am I gonna explain?
Yeah.
So I do that, and then I also do like a PowerPoint thing with like, this is my mood board. This is the aesthetic I'm going for. I make like a Spotify playlist with like, this is the inspiration for the music, so that then the composer and the editor can like look at that and like listen to it and like, okay, this is the vibe.
Yeah.
So I like go through all that, and then I make my list of like films that inspire me for the script, and then films that inspire me for the cinematography,
Yeah.
and then films that inspire me for like performance.
Mm.
So like for you, I gave you like,
Autumn Sonata.
yeah, and then I did tell you like Snow White, and
Yeah.
which was very interesting.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah. Right. And for Merit, I gave her Hereditary because she hated it. She hated it so much.
Wait, why did she hate it?
She said it was so scary. No, she was like, why did you make me watch that? I'm like, because it's so good. What do you mean? Yeah. Yeah. I know. Just a lot of movies. 2101.
Oh, 2101.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I wanted to ask kind of like about the big reveal because there was like a lot of build up to that. And
Mhm.
how was writing the script for that?
For that, you mean when she says the whole thing about
Yeah, like when
love?
she's like, hey,
Yeah.
you know?
Um,
You never loved him.
Of course I did.
He
I married
gave
him.
you everything, and you never appreciated anything.
That's not true.
I. We all know, Laura. No matter how much he loved you, you never.
How could this be love?
so there are like 6 versions of the script,
Mm.
and that moment stayed the same throughout like all the drafts that I wrote. Because to me, because like that scene is kind of like she's holding on to it, like she's been like keeping this from Alma the whole time,
Mm.
but Alma has been like very like like she's been attacking you for
Yeah.
most of the film, and so this is the moment when you're like, honestly, fuck everything, fuck that you're my mother-in-law. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like say how I feel, and so I wanted to kind of emphasize how for you, you loved him, but you didn't feel like he loved you because he abused you. And for Alma, that was very like strange because she had always associated violence with love.
Mm.
And so it's kind of like an insult to Alma, but to you, it's like, hey, wake up. Like, that is not love.
Mm.
And so I kept that moment um, throughout every single draft because I felt like it was the most important part for you and then for the audience, you know? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have a question though. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So, for, because I take inspiration from films when I'm like, you know, like what I said. But do you take inspiration from anything when you're like preparing for a script?
I think I take a lot of inspiration from either things that have happened in my life or people in my life, and if it kind of ties in closely with what's happening, then I can draw in a lot of inspiration from that. Emotionally too, I think that helps a lot. But I also take inspiration from, I think it really helped with the films that you gave me to watch. That helped a lot in kind of like building this character. And the same thing you said earlier about making Spotify playlists, I do that too for the characters.
Nice.
And that really helps me like get in that mindset of the
Nice.
character.
What is Laura's music?
I picked a lot of, I guess, 90s songs.
Like Radiohead? Nice.
There's this one Jeff Buckley song, and it's like a cover of that song. It's like I Know It's Over.
Oh my god, I love that song.
The Jeff Buckley version,
Yeah.
so good.
It's so
And
good. It's like,
it just like not only are the lyrics kind of you know tie in with what's happening, but just the way it sounds too
yeah,
really helps get in that.
that's good to know. I love working with her.
I love working with her. I'm gonna miss you so much.
Me too. Me too.
And then I guess is there anything you would have liked to done differently in post production or pre production?
Probably. So one of the other like I guess issues we had was that originally we were gonna shoot like 3 days,
Mm.
but when we changed the dates, we could only shoot 2 days, and so we had to condense everything in like Saturday and Sunday. And so there's one scene in particular that I look at it and I'm like I could have shot this differently. And so that kind of affected when we were editing because like I kept thinking about like, oh, if I had shot it this way, I could have edited this way.
Yeah.
And so I got stuck throughout. Like that scene took us. It's the scene where she puts the hand inside the vase and it's the ashes. That took us like so fucking long to figure out.
My son was more than this.
And then is there like a big learning lesson that you kind of had as you were working on Branches?
Yes. I'm like, So for this one, this has been the script that I spent the longest time with.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started writing it in March, and so I spent like all of the summer and like fall semester like thinking about it and like planning it out. And it was also the first time like every shot in the film is like storyboarded. So every cut of the film was already planned since like August.
Oh.
Like I already like everything looks so like exactly like how I drew it out.
Yeah.
And that was my first time doing that, and so that was like a big like challenge but also lesson for me. But I will say, looking back, I think I focused too much on like the shots and the edit. Then when we were on set, I kind of felt like I didn't talk to you and Merritt as much, and that's like a thing that I'm like next time I'm like gonna focus on both equally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like on Ace of Cups, I was like talking to you all the time, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause my junior film was also with her.
Oh,
so,
that's cool.
yeah. I know. That was probably the biggest thing. Yeah. 2101.
And then, do you have any like upcoming works or upcoming things you're working on?
So I'm moving to LA
Oh, yay!
because I'm doing my master's over there.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I'm moving in August.
That's so.
So I'm like gonna miss you so much because
I'll come visit you.
I'm like in 20 years I'm gonna hit you up like, hey Loca, you wanna make a film?
I'll be
Like-
like, yes, I'll drop everything on you.
Yeah, no, because you're so talented. And you like get my vision like more like no one else can. Yeah.
And I guess now we're moving on to you.
Sorry. I just started talking. Okay.
No, we can take like a little break and then we can get back into it if you want to like get some water. If you also want to get some water.
I'm okay. I just like swallowed really good.
I'm gonna leave that in, honestly.
Please.
She just started crying because of me.
Okay. I think I'm good. Yeah, dale.
Does this work?
That's cool.
If not, I normally like bump up the audio if it's like too quiet when I'm editing.
Yeah, I'm pretty soft spoken too, so
All right, so I guess I kind of want to like introduce you. So what's your name and kind of what got you into acting?
well, my name is Ash Tinoco, and kind of similar to Nikki, growing up, I always loved watching movies, but I was always more interested in the acting side of it. Like,
Yeah.
I just always wanted to be on the screen. And when I was little, I was like a very confident, out there kind of kid. So I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to perform and I want to be in movies. But I never really, growing up, I never really considered it as like a possible career option.
Yeah.
But then in high school, I got into theater, as
Yeah.
most actors do. And it was like the last day of high school. I was talking to my theater teacher, and she was asking what my plans were after I graduated. And it was like the usual: go to college, get a degree, do something with that degree. But she told me that she really thought I should pursue acting, and that she would be disappointed if I didn't at least try.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I really had someone believe in me in that way. And
Yeah.
that can do a lot. That
Yeah.
can do so much. And she was, Miss Cattell, as my theater teacher, she was that person for me.
Yeah.
And from then on, I was like, okay, I'll try it. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I'm trying. Yeah.
You're doing a good job though.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what I think makes you like such a good actor is the fact that you're such a good writer.
Really?
Yeah, because like your writing is beautiful, and I think that really helps translate into your performance, and that's not something a lot of actors do. And like you journal a lot for like when we're rehearsing, so
Yeah.
yeah, that helps.
I did love doing that too.
Yeah,
That helped us a lot.
yeah. We would journal. I would make them journal like
Yeah.
on every rehearsal. And it would be something really fucked up, like something traumatic as fuck.
And I'd be like,
Yeah.
Like, what would you ask them? Kind of like talk about this one experience you had or something.
ooh, I remember one specific journal entry you gave me. This was for Ace of Cups.
Yeah.
And in Ace of Cups, the main character, she kind of deals with different things that have happened in her life.
Mm.
One of them being that her father left when she was pretty young. And so one of the journal entries was write a letter to your father, like as if you were that character.
Yeah.
But based on personal experiences, I was like, okay, I got this. And that helped a lot because I never, like, that helped with the character, but that also helped with me personally. Like, I just wrote down everything I had been wanting to say, and that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was it like working on Branches?
Branches, as I said earlier, was the most beautiful experience. Just
Yeah.
being, like, filming over the course of a weekend and being in that cabin and being surrounded by like other students all working towards the same thing.
Yeah.
It was a really great experience, and I love working with Nikki, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do
Yeah.
that again. And I think, I mean, the first time with Ace of Cups, that was like one of my first experiences with acting, and I think that was such a good first
I
experience
know.
to have,
You did
like,
so good in that.
thank you, but just to have like the connection that I have with you as a director and actor,
Mm.
that is so important, and I'm so lucky to have found that so early in my career, I guess, and it definitely set an example for the future. Like, I know that's how it should be.
Mm.
Me too. Me fucking too.
I wanted to ask, what was it like playing the mother in Branches?
That I was so intimidated by that at first,
Yeah.
and like when I first heard that you were gonna direct another short film and that was a concept, I wanted to work with you again so badly, but I just didn't know where I would fit in with that.
Yeah.
But somehow you saw the vision, and that gave me some confidence. But I was still really scared because, like, I'm nowhere near being a mother.
Yeah.
But
It was also kind of like such a coincidence because you were not auditioning. You were in the room with me.
Mm.
So I was auditioning other people and you were the reader.
yeah,
And then at some point I was like, yo, Ashley, you wanna like do it? Like just for funsies.
Yeah.
And like you did it. And like Ryan and I looked at each other. Ryan was my assistant director.
Yeah.
And like we both looked at each other like, oh my God. Yo. Yeah. So I'm so glad you did that.
I'm so glad I showed up that day, and I'm so glad that you asked me to audition.
Yeah.
But as far as playing the mother went, it took some work to get there. I think Nikki did help a lot with that too in the rehearsals. The rehearsals were extensive, but they were so necessary,
Mm.
and that helped kind of get me in that mindset. And really, I took a lot of inspiration from my mom and the things she went through, and I just tied that into the character.
Yeah. Because yeah, she's not like an easy character to play. Like that was definitely a heavy role.
Yeah, but I think it was good, and
Yeah.
I liked working with Noah. He's so cute,
Yeah,
so
with the
funny,
kid.
Yeah.
We had a
and
lot of rehearsals that were just like playing.
yeah, we
Yeah,
play like
hide
charades.
and seek. Yeah, with charades. Yeah, we played that for hours.
But I did like working with him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy the most about working on Branches?
Working with Nikki again, well, like not to get sappy, but
Yeah.
I just, I've been on other sets and they've all been good. I just,
Yeah.
again, I've never had that connection with the director the way that I have with Nikki.
Mm.
It's like, yes, she's my director, but she's also my friend.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be, vulnerable and open in general, but with Nikki, it's so much easier. Like, you just create a really safe environment.
Yeah.
And I really like that. It's just like us flirting the whole time.
The thumbnail just gonna be like a heart with
Yeah.
around you guys.
Eyes in my heart in my eyes. Oh my gosh, pretty girl.
Do you guys have any future films you guys been working on together then?
I would love to.
I would also love to.
I have to write a script though.
Yeah.
No, I would love to. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit you up in like 20 years. Hey, Loca.
Yes.
Because I wanna actually make Branches into a feature. So I'm like, I'm definitely hitting you up.
I'll be older then too.
Yeah,
That will work.
yeah.
So I guess I wanted to kind of ask, just to like finish it off, what was like the best memory of you guys working together? Like, is there one moment, or I imagine there's like multiple where even you're just like, damn, I really do love working together with this person.
I have mine.
Yeah.
And it's not something that like we necessarily shared together, but it was more so like one of the initial auditions you did, like the one that was like you did improv
Oh yeah.
and I recorded it. It's just like watching her like step out of her comfort zone
Yeah.
just makes me so happy and like so proud.
Yeah.
And like I recorded it and I'm telling you, I rewatched that shit like all fucking weekend, bro. And I kept smiling because I was like, oh my god, like you have such a specific like personality in like real life, but when you like perform and you like step out and you like get angry and you start screaming, it is so powerful. And like I just like watching you perform. Like it makes me very happy. Yeah.
That's really beautiful. Wow. Yeah, I was really scared to do improv too.
I know.
I was so scared.
We're so good.
The audition process was a little bit scary,
Scary.
I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
I'd say my favorite memory of us, there's so many, but there was this one, for one of the rehearsals, we went to this park and we like laid out a blanket and we all sat on it. And we were playing that one game, We're Not Really Strangers.
Yeah.
I think that was such a good experience and like the weather was nice. It was it was beautiful, everything surrounding us, the park and everything. And just that rehearsal specifically, like I've never had a rehearsal like that, and it felt so natural, and you know, we were being so vulnerable with each other, and it was beautiful.
Is there anything you guys want to say just to finish it off?
She's gonna be a star. That's what I'm gonna say.
You're gonna be a star.
We're gonna be stars.
We're gonna be at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just you wait.
All right, well, thank you guys. This is cool as fuck.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
really fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like sweating so
Me
bad
too.
right now.